Let's talk about WWE Smackdown, and indeed this was an interesting week. We had Teddy Long coming out to begin the show. He was funny a while back, but I'm absolutely sick and tired of his work now. He never has had too many storylines. I know he married Crystal a couple of years ago with Pat Patterson looking on, and indeed we also had Teddy involved as a Vicky Guerrero curtain jerker.
Really, he is probably the most annoying on-screen character for such a long time. I mean, I'm going right out there with Tony Schiavone. I mean, this Teddy Long is just, I don't know what in God's name, why they have him still with so much time and promos and stuff. But he's a happy man. That Big Show's a happy man, and you know, maybe that's all it takes for poor Teddy.
Why must SmackDown lag in the past, having a male GM, just that standard guy who just comes out and interrupts? I know SmackDown is almost like the legacy of the Monday Nitro. A lot of those road crew working on the SmackDown a couple of years back, your Arn Andersons and etc. You had a lot of guys like your, what was the Jericho's friend, the tough guy, Dean Malenko. He sort of works backstage there as well. But don't keep it rooted in the past. I mean, Raw's got that guest host gimmick. They're allowed to do things, and they're allowed sort of break out of that mould. So indeed, don't cripple SmackDown by making it just too old school. You've got to move it on as well. It can't lag, and it's lagging right now in the wake of NXT. Now, Chris Jericho was involved in SmackDown this week, and indeed he was going and leaving that territory. He's been moved to Raw now, so no more Jericho on SmackDown, but I'd expect to see him back there next week again, but maybe not with that job to Kofi Kingston. Now, I'm glad to see that Kofi is finally being referred to as being from Ghana, West Africa, in the commentary as well now, and they've dropped that Jamaican gimmick a long time ago. The accent was the first thing to go, but certainly now you've got a chance to jockey this guy into the position of being an African-American champion, or indeed just an African. I mean, I think he has roots in America as well. Perhaps he's been there a while now. But certainly, if you're going to have an African-American champion, then this guy is now in a position to do something on SmackDown. I'm not sure, is it a sort of demotion? A lot of people might say it is, to go to SmackDown. But I mean, he can do a lot with it. At least now, he's got a chance to be somewhere where it's a little bit quieter and less of that Triple H influence.
Yeah, what I was just thinking about was, like, did they ever really do those drastic gimmick changes where they've kept the same gimmick, basically the same music, keep them whatever they are, babyface or heel, and just do kind of a drastic undercurrent gimmick change of the accent goes and his origins change? And I'm just trying to think if I can really pinpoint anything over the years that has had that, and what my thoughts were on it, because when I did see Kofi drop the Jamaican accent, it was a little bit odd, and now the reference with Ghana is still a little bit odd for me. Just to, you know, do people actually believe it? Do they push it aside? I mean, I just don't know. I can't really think of any old gimmick that had that kind of change so quick, you know?
Yes, they changed it, and they didn't apologise. They just, next week he came out and he had an American accent, and no more of that Jamaican stuff. But at least they sort of tried it, and it looked like it might be okay on paper. I mean, when he was first introduced in ECW a while back, I sort of felt like, well, they could do something here. It's something new. I couldn't remember, at least in my memory, a Jamaican character. And indeed, with all those international sort of people coming on the scene now, Drew McIntyre from Scotland, we have Sheamus from here in Ireland. And yeah, I mean, guys are coming from all over. Now, we had Jericho being sort of jobbed out to Kingston. Jericho leaving that territory now, and Kingston getting his win in. At least his move to SmackDown will give him some momentum. We're talking about this week's SmackDown, WWE Friday Night SmackDown, of course recorded last Tuesday. And indeed, Chavo has been drafted to SmackDown. Was he anywhere else? Was he on Raw? Because I don't remember seeing him too much. I know as soon as Vicky Guerrero disappears off TV, that's it for Chavo, nothing for him. But then as soon as she's back, well, the writers have everything for Chavo and nothing for Shelton.
It is just fascinating how they just dick around with people like this. You know, I mean, literally when he came out, I was like, what the fuck? Chavo's in the fucking ring and he's going to cut a promo. What in the fuck is going on? And I was like, oh, right, this must be some draft shit. So, to see, it's exactly it. To see Shelton gone and to see Chavo in there cutting the promo and getting in on Vicky's gimmick is just, it's worrying. And just when you thought, I thought SmackDown was going pretty steadily as far as SmackDowns go. I didn't skip past anything, but as soon as Chavo had that one out of the way, I had my second thoughts.
Chavo's back on television and he is flagging up another Vicky angle, talking about her and saying that, basically telling those writers, remember, I'm related, and indeed that gives me that entitlement to remain wherever she is. But with Laycool involved, I've got to see maybe Chavo going on that cute Kip route. Maybe that's where he's going now, like when Kip was with the beautiful people. I think Chavo probably is only, in my opinion anyway, worth that. Because if you're not going to push him athletically, if you're not going to put sort of intercontinental titles on a guy like that, then why bother? I mean, if you're not going to be in some sort of title run, if all you're ever going to be doing, like he's done for about 6 months, is hang around with Hornswoggle, then I'm sorry, but you've buried yourself. You know, leave the company, go somewhere else, and ask them to give you something better, because that's just ridiculous. But anyway, I mean, we're just commenting on this because we are fans of a television program, just like you might speak about scripted television. This is scripted television. So indeed, opinions are certainly hot and heavy, and we want to hear from you on that Skype line, WrestleDope. And indeed, I think, you know, we're going to have to start arranging guys to come on Skype. I've sort of felt like I've ignored SmackDown a bit on this, and maybe it is time to start paying attention. There is some draft picks now, they might be doing something with it. Yeah,
some good moves, and I think next week we'll see the full effects of both the draft moves, from who goes to Raw and who goes to SmackDown, and what this product has potential for. And I'm sure it gives writers a bit of creative freedom to work in new little angles and new storylines going forward. And already they become apparent with MVP on this past week's SmackDown. MVP stepping right back into the picture as the most valuable player that he is, and a good spot for MVP.
This past week's SmackDown, there's going to be lots of editing in this one. Cody Rhodes versus John Morrison, and indeed Cody Rhodes was somebody we knew was going to SmackDown. We had, you know, predicted that one quite a long time ago, but I have to say Rhodes looked hungry. He's not been on television since WrestleMania, since he sort of lost that match, and indeed it is a case now where Cody has got a lot to prove. Now this is where I sort of thought to myself, maybe the guy needs a gimmick, and perhaps like his brother Dustin, maybe he needs something a little more, maybe a tag team with those guys, protege angle, Dustin and Cody.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to really think on their feet with this one really quickly, because you've seen the slight build even on one show where Cody gets over with not having the knee pads. Cody gets over in the match over John Morrison, who's a huge talent on SmackDown, but it's okay. They needed to put Cody over to make him strong. Going into SmackDown, he's fresh, he's new, he's going over, he's strong. Morrison is out, it doesn't matter. He'll do the job. He's going to Raw. It doesn't really matter. Cody's looking strong. And reference to the commentators talking about the common man and the not so common man, Cody Rhodes. It should be a good gimmick for him to run with, the not so common man, Cody Rhodes.
Absolutely. Let's move on. Tony Chimmel's voice broke when he was introducing Edge. A little bit of a tidbit there. Edge has been drafted to Raw, but hearing Edge saying he loves the fans, etc., was so wrong. But then we were swerved. Edge changed it all, and in a promo with Christian, he basically said that he was somebody who had, well, let's say, swerved us all, worked us all, and indeed Edge sort of doing his best this week to trick us all